Day 169, cooking down the freezer, refrigerator, and working pantry challenge. Well, I've been wondering to myself, how long do I want to do this challenge? It's been a lot of cooking and a lot of days, but this is how I cook anyway, so I guess I'll just keep recording it. So if you guys could help me out, that would be great. What are some of the things that you would like to see in my videos? I know I have a lot of gardening, a lot of cooking, but are there other things that you would like to see? Leave a comment below and let me know, and it'll give me some ideas for some future videos. So today is supposed to rain, which would be good after yesterday's hot weather, and I just took a little look around my garden, and there are a lot of things that are already coming up, seeds that I just planted. I'm hoping they're not cottonwoods, but they could be. I'll be plucking a lot of little cottonwoods. So anyway, we'll just have to wait and see what they are. That's the problem with outside gardening. You plant seeds and you get all kinds of invaders that also want to live in your lovely soil. So, but that's nature, and it's all part of the process. So I have a few more flowers to plant, and I have to pick places and flowers that my dogs don't like, because one year I bought zinnias and my dogs ate them all. So I can't put edible flowers where the dogs go because they would disappear. The same goes for lettuce and kale and all that stuff. They love to eat that. One year they ate all my lemongrass, so that's why my garden is fenced off, because they would have themselves a smorgasbord before I even got to any of the food. So, life with dogs. I wouldn't have it any other way. So, the sun's starting to come out a little bit, but it's nice and cool this morning. It's really very pleasant. So, I think I'll get dressed and maybe head outside before breakfast, but that was my plan yesterday before I got sidetracked, which happens a lot. Alright, so leave me a comment below and let me know what you would like to see in my future videos. And I'll be back in a little bit with some breakfast. Let's see what's for breakfast this morning. I just want to have something before I go out and do a little work in my garden. I have the mowers here today, and they're very noisy. They have two of them going at once. So, all right, I think I'm just going to finish up this little bit of Walmart bread. And I still have some, I think this is Gouda cheese. I'm going to have that, and I'm just going to have some toast and cheese this morning. And then I'm going to finish up these grapes. There aren't many left in there. And I think I'm going to steam this tempeh so I can get started on the tempeh bacon. Alright, so that will be it on the Walmart bread. So let me look in the freezer. I think I have a little loaf of bread down here. I still have some pretzels too. I could eat those with some vegan cheese sauce. So I'm going to stick this in the refrigerator and thaw it out for another meal. All right, I will meet you at the stove. Alright, well, I made some toast and I put some butter and cheese on there, and then I decided I'm going to have some peanut butter and jelly on toast. And this should last me until dinner time. The peanut butter is from my working pantry. And the jelly, of course, is from the refrigerator. Oh, hello. No, that's not your breakfast. That's my breakfast. It's my breakfast. I know, it looks good. But anyway, peanut butter and jelly toast is always good, whether you want to have it on crackers for a snack, or for a lunch, or for a breakfast. I like peanut butter and jelly on waffles. That's really tasty. Nice crisp waffle. Whether it's homemade or, you know, the Eggos. Either way, it's really tasty. Alright, so there is my breakfast this morning. And I don't have a ton of food left in the refrigerator, but I'm not planning on going shopping yet because I still have food. Alright, there is my breakfast, that and some coffee, day 169. I'll be back later. Something with this tempeh since I thought it. Because I want to make the tempeh bacon out of this. But I like to steam my tempeh before I cook it. Because to me, when I first tried tempeh, I didn't like it at all. But then I read that if you steam it, it doesn't have that bitter taste. Because if you don't steam it, it has a little bit of a bitter taste, and bitter is my least favorite taste. So I'm going to steam this in my microwave steamer for about 10 minutes and before I marinate it in the bacon-ish flavors. Alright, so I'll be back later to continue with the tempeh bacon. And I also wanted to talk just a little tiny bit about shopping. And I'm not planning on going shopping for a while yet. And the reason for that is it will force me to use what I have rather than just running out and getting more. And it makes me get creative with cooking. So, like with this tempeh, I had this and I have 2 more. So I think that's plenty of tempeh. I have a lot of tofu in the freezer and the refrigerator that need to be used up. And I want to hold off on buying produce for now until I make some room in my drawer that I keep my veggies, my frozen veggies in. So it's going to force me to be even more creative with my cooking. Now my grandson Ryan has been using my car because his car broke down. And that's also forcing me to stay home more and not run to the store. Not that I go to the store much anymore. I used to go 3-4 times a week. But I don't do that anymore. I don't need all that stuff. I don't need, unless I'm specifically looking for something, I don't need more stuff. I need less stuff. So I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here. Not driving a lot is forcing me to use up what I have, and also to look at the things I have and see if I really want them. So I have a new strategy going around in my head. And when I dust my house now, whatever I dust, I'm going to take a box with me while I'm dusting. And then I'm going to ask myself, do I really want to keep this thing enough to take care of it and to continue dusting it and moving it and, you know, whatever it is you do when you dust? And if the answer is no, I'm going to put it in the box. Now, most of that is going to impact the tchotchkes I have, and I have plenty of those. And if I'm not sure about something, I may have a second box that it goes like in the, well, maybe I'll use this when I change my decor around, so I don't have to run around in the store and buy more decor, because I really don't need any more. But you know, we all get bored with what we have and we want something different. So those things that I still like, but I don't want to dust so many things, I'm going to put those away, and then when I get bored and I want to switch things around, then I'll have new decor. Another thing, I was watching a video, I forget her name, the lady is in Britain, and she's low income, and she reminded me that years ago, a lot of people bought their furniture or their dishes or whatever they had. It was like a lifetime commitment to that thing. Well, people don't do that anymore. You know, you get tired of something, you get rid of it. Now, I've had most of my furniture for almost 20 years. I bought a lot of new furniture when I moved into this house, because before that I had what I used to call divorce furniture. And it was cheap furniture, you know, put together stuff from Walmart and stuff like that. So I got rid of a lot of that, and I actually bought some nice, good furniture. Well, my dogs kind of forced me to get rid of my sofa, and the love seat is on the way out too, because they ruined it. They dug holes in it, and it was stinky, and you know, it was just nasty. And it really hurt me to get rid of that couch, because when I first saw the couch and the love seat, and you know, it's like I fell in love with it, and I really, really did like it. So I wouldn't have gotten rid of those things if I didn't have to. But anything that I get rid of now, I'm trying to replace it with lighter versions. And by lighter, I mean not hard to move around. And getting back to this lady in England, she reminded me that the last generation, and even me when I was younger, what we used to do is just rearrange the furniture. You'd rearrange your furniture, you'd put this lamp in that room, and then change out this and change out that. And by the time you were done, you felt like you had a whole new room. So I thought, you know, she's got something there. So the next time I get the urge to redecorate, I'm going to give that a try. But for now, I'm just in the mode of seeing what I actually want to keep, because I just can't deal with this much stuff anymore. But I don't want to throw out the baby with the bathwater and just get rid of everything, because to me that's kind of silly if you have to run out and buy more because you threw everything away. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that and what I'm going to do and how I'm going to downsize more. And I'm going to stop trying my clothes on before I get rid of them. Because sometimes I have things that I don't wear because I'm either not that crazy about it when I look at it in the closet, but once I try it on with something, it's like, oh, that looks pretty good. So then I keep it. But I don't want to continue to do that. If I don't like it when it's hanging in the closet, it needs to go. So I need to stop trying on my clothes, because it's a long process when I declutter that way. If I have to try everything on, and it's just too much bother. All right, well, I'm going to go get dressed and go do some more planting in my garden. If I can figure out where to put them, I was thinking I'm going to put the rest of the flowers I have to plant in the rest of the Dollar Tree stackable planters. Well, if I do that, I'll show you what I did at the end of the day. So I'll be back a little later, and we'll see what I get done today. All right, I'm going to make a marinade for this tempeh. I steamed it for 10 minutes. I put a little bit of bacon seasoning on the outside of it, but it really doesn't flavor it much. This is what I used. But I'm just trying to use this up. It doesn't really have much of a bacon flavor. So anyway, I'm following a conglomeration of recipes here. So I have here a little bit of miso paste that I just want to use up. Oh, it's about a half a teaspoon. To that I want to add about a teaspoon of this smokehouse maple. Well, half a teaspoon, because it's pretty salty. So about half a teaspoon of that. And this is molasses bacon. It's by McCormick. I'm going to put half a teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to add some soy sauce, about a tablespoon. And I might need more, I'm not sure. So about a tablespoon of that. Because bacon is salty, so do that. And I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. A tablespoon and a half. Because I want to taste this before I put it over my marinade. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of liquid smoke. Not quite, because this is pretty strong. So a little less. And this is natural hickory. And then I'm going to add some accent, which is the flavor enhancer. If you don't like this, leave it out. So I'm going to add about a half a teaspoon of that. I know a lot of people don't want to eat that, but I don't have a problem with it. And then the recipe that I'm sort of following calls for tahini. I don't have any. So I'm just going to add some peanut butter. But before I do that, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of smoked paprika. And then the peanut butter. Okay. I'm going to mix this up and taste it and see if it needs anything else. Alright, I have this maple syrup It's not really maple syrup, but I want to get rid of this. It's been hanging around for quite a while. So I'm going to start off with a tablespoon of it. Then I'll see if it needs more. Real maple syrup would be better, but like I said, I want to get rid of this. So it'll do all right. Okay, I'm back. All right, I'm going to put just a little bit more than a tablespoon, like a tablespoon and a half. Closer to 2 tablespoons, but not quite. Because it's still a little tart from the apple cider vinegar. All right, now I want to add a little bit of oil to this because bacon is oily or greasy. So I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil. Probably another couple tablespoons, tablespoon and a half, because I don't want it too greasy. And I'm going to make this in the air fryer, so it needs a little bit of oil to get it to go crispy. So, okay, now if you wanted this to emulsify so the oil didn't separate, you could zap this in your little mini blender, and I think I might do that. But first I'm going to give it a taste. Okay, that tastes pretty good to me. I'm just going to add a little bit more of this smokehouse maple. Actually, I'm going to add some breakfast blend because this stuff is pretty salty and bacon is salty. So just a little bit of that, not too much. And that's it. Then I'm going to let this marinate probably till tomorrow, till breakfast tomorrow. And I'm looking forward to having a TLT with this. Try it one more time. Okay, that did the trick. All right. I'll be back after I get this emulsified. All right, I ended up adding about 2 or 3 tablespoons of water because it was pretty thick and it was also pretty salty. But of course bacon is salty. So I'm just going to, but it was kind of too thick to use as a marinade. So I'm going to pour this over my tempeh, and then I'm going to let this marinate overnight and give it a shake every now and then just to mix it up. And then I'll make this in the air fryer tomorrow, probably for breakfast or brunch or lunch or whatever. Alright, so there we have it. I used up some of my ingredients and I think it'll be good. You can also marinate tofu in here, which I might do after I cook this. Alright, so there we have it, and hopefully it'll be tasty. Alright, okay, time to make some dinner. Let's see what we have cooking or not cooking yet. I still have some of this rice. I still have half a burger here, but I'm not going to have that. It's an Impossible burger, but I am going to have some of this rice. And I'm going to cook up this onion. And then I'm going to, I have these zucchini here. that need to be eaten. So I'm going to cook up 1 or 2 of those so they don't go bad on me. All right. I will meet you at the stove. Time to make some dinner. So I have a little bit of butter or margarine, whatever you have, in the pan. Oh, this needs to go. All right, well, and here I have the squash and the onion. So I'm just going to saute this up and add a little bit of seasoning. And for something different, I have this Hunt's roasted garlic pasta sauce that I'll be adding to this as well. And I'm going to have this with the beans and the rice. And I might put an egg in there, a la shashuka. Am I saying that right? Of course, that's not a traditional way to make it, but you know, I figured, what's the difference? So I'll be back in a little bit after I saute this up. Okay, so I heated up some of my beans and rice. This is crisp tender, and I'm going to add some of this tomato sauce. I'm going to save some for another meal. So I'm going to let this cook for a little bit. And then I think I might add an egg in here. I added a little bit of Tony's, just a little bit for me, and some garlic salt. And I'm going to add some onion powder. Add as much or as little as you like, or leave it out. And some garlic powder. Okay. I'm going to let that cook for a minute or so. And then I'm going to add an egg. I haven't done that ever before. Okay, let's see how this is going to work. I'm going to cover this, and then we'll see. Okay, dinner is done. The egg looks like it's cooked. And I'm going to give this a try. I've never had this before. Alright, let's see. And I figured the squash needed to be cooked. Yesterday I had a burrito with the rice, and today I wanted something different. So I know traditionally you eat this with bread, but you know, it's your dinner. You can do what you want. Okay. I think that looks okay. All right. So there we have it. Dinner day 169. And I think it'll be tasty. I'm going to give it a taste. And we'll see. Okay, the yolk is nice and runny, so that's good. The white is cooked, so let's see if this flavor combination is any good. And it's really hot. Ooh, it's thundering. Can you hear that? It's finally raining, and we need the rain. The garden needs the rain. I don't, but the flowers in the garden does. Good. Thumbs up. The rest of this, I'm probably going to have some pasta and meatballs with. I still have meatballs. I have lots of veggie grounds that I'll probably add to this. But for now, I'm going to eat my dinner. And I'm also going to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys. Be good to yourself. Be good to others. God bless you. And I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, comment, and like. Thanks for watching.